Fear is an illusion, crafted in the darkest corners of the mind, a shadow play that fools the weak into submission. It whispers lies in the dead of night, promising danger where none exists, chaining you to a prison of your own creation. The weak crumble beneath its weight, bowing to a master that holds no real power. But the strong, the strong laugh in the face of fear. They do not hide from its shadows, they walk straight through them, unflinching, unyielding. Fear thrives on hesitation, and the strong leave no room for it. Fear is a tool, not a tyrant. The weak are its victims, letting it drive their choices, cloud their judgment, and paralyze their actions. But the strong seize control, wielding fear as a weapon, using it to sharpen their instincts and fuel their determination. Fear is not to be avoided, it is to be mastered. It is the fire that burns away complacency, the force that propels you forward when all else fails. The strong do not run from fear, they run toward it, knowing that in its grasp lies the key to their power. Fear thrives on imagination, feeding on the unknown, growing larger with every unspoken doubt. The weak let their minds spiral, building monsters out of shadows, surrendering to horrors they've invented themselves. But the strong confront the unknown with cold calculation, refusing to let their minds betray them. They understand that fear is a projection, not a reality, and they shatter its illusions with the clarity of action. To act is to destroy fear, to hesitate is to give it life. Fear is the ultimate deception, a lie that disguises itself as wisdom, caution, prudence. The weak trust this lie, mistaking it for guidance, letting it steer them away from risk, from challenge, from growth. But the strong see through the facade, recognizing fear for what it is, a barrier meant to be broken. Fear does not protect, it imprisons. The strong refuse to be confined, tearing down the walls of fear with every bold step they take. Fear is not the keeper of safety, it is the thief of freedom. The shadows where fear hides belong to those who dare to claim them. The weak cower in the dark, believing it to be the domain of their nightmares. But the strong know that the darkness is theirs to command, that fear has no power in the presence of certainty. To walk through the shadows is to claim dominion over fear, to show it that its illusions are no match for your resolve. Fear only exists where light is absent, and the strong carry their own fire. Fear feeds on inaction. The longer you hesitate, the stronger it grows, tightening its grip, weaving its lies deeper into your mind. The weak freeze, caught in fear's web, unable to move, unable to fight. But the strong act swiftly, decisively, cutting through fear with the blade of purpose. Action is the enemy of fear, the force that reveals its illusions, that strips away its power. The strong do not wait for fear to pass, they destroy it by moving forward. Fear is not something to overcome, it is something to annihilate. The weak aim to manage their fear, to live with it, to coexist. But the strong aim higher. They seek to destroy fear entirely, to rip it from their minds, to leave no room for it to grow. Fear is a parasite, and the strong are its predator, hunting it down, eliminating it wherever it hides. To master fear is not to tame it. It is to eradicate it, to ensure it never rises again. The face of fear is not your enemy. It is your reflection. The weak see fear as an external force, something inflicted upon them, something beyond their control. But the strong understand that fear is born within, that it is a creation of their own mind, a shadow of their own making. To conquer fear is to conquer yourself, to take responsibility for the illusions you have allowed to take root. The strong do not blame fear, they take ownership of it, and in doing so, they take its power. Fear is the guardian of potential, standing between you and the life you are capable of living. The weak see this guardian as an unbreakable wall, a final barrier that cannot be crossed. But the strong see it as a test, a challenge, a call to arms. Fear is not there to stop you, it is there to be defeated. To step through fear is to claim what lies beyond, to seize the potential that fear sought to hide from you. The strong do not ask for permission. They take what is theirs. Men will twist their lives into unrecognizable shapes to escape what they fear, far more readily than they would ever reshape themselves to achieve what they desire. The weak are driven by avoidance, constructing their every move around what might harm, what might wound, what might challenge their fragile illusions. They craft elaborate detours to stay clear of discomfort, ignoring the straight path toward their goals, all because fear whispers louder than ambition. The strong, however, hear that whisper and laugh. Fear is a distraction, not a destination. It demands your attention, but it deserves nothing. Fear tricks men into shrinking. It teaches them to play small, to aim low, to embrace mediocrity under the guise of safety. The weak confuse survival with living, as if avoiding danger is the pinnacle of existence. The strong reject this falsehood. Survival is the baseline, the bare minimum. Life is found not in safety but in risk, in the moments where desire burns brighter than fear, where the choice to leap outweighs the need to retreat. To avoid fear is to avoid living. To confront it is to claim your life. Men cripple themselves in the service of fear. They avoid the unknown, barricading themselves in routines and comforts that soothe their anxiety, but rob them of potential. They would rather stagnate than risk falling. The strong see this for what it is, a slow death. To fear the fall is to fear the climb, and to fear the climb is to remain forever grounded. The strong accept the risk of the fall because the view from the summit is worth every bruise, every scar. Desire requires effort, while fear only demands avoidance. The weak choose the path of least resistance, running from imagined threats rather than pursuing their greatest ambitions. Fear places chains on their feet, but they refuse to unlock them, preferring the familiar weight to the uncertainty of freedom. The strong break these chains with ruthless precision. Desire is not a fleeting want, it is a mandate, a call to action, a demand to rise. The strong heed that call, knowing that fear is the enemy of progress. Fear is the easier master, and men are quick to submit. They justify their cowardice with excuses, calling it prudence, wisdom, or caution. But the strong understand that fear thrives on excuses, that it grows with every justification. To serve fear is to betray yourself, to trade your dreams for the illusion of security. The strong do not serve fear, they dominate it. They turn their back on its demands, focusing instead on what must be done to bring their desires to life. The irony of fear is that it promises safety but delivers suffering. Men who shape their lives around avoidance find themselves trapped in prisons of their own making. They think they are protecting themselves, but they are only ensuring that their world grows smaller with each passing day. The strong refuse this trade. They understand that fear's safety is a lie, a trap designed to keep them from reaching their potential. To confront fear is to shatter its illusions, to reclaim the space it seeks to steal from you. Fear makes men predictable. It pushes them into patterns, habits, and routines that can be easily controlled. The strong reject predictability, knowing that it leads to complacency, to weakness, to defeat. They embrace chaos, uncertainty, and challenge, knowing that this is where growth lives. Fear is a manipulator, and the strong refuse to be manipulated. They walk their own path, dictated not by fear's constraints, but by their own ambitions, their own vision, their own will. To avoid fear is to give it power. Each step away from what you fear is a step toward making it stronger, making it larger, making it more real. The weak feed fear with every act of avoidance, growing their oppressor into a monster they can no longer face. The strong starve it. They march toward what frightens them, diminishing it with each step, reducing it to the shadow it always was. Fear has no substance. It only grows when you flee. Men who avoid fear lose sight of desire. The weak allow fear to drown out their ambitions, their dreams fading into the background as fear takes center stage. They forget what they want because they are too busy running from what they don't. The strong remember. They keep their desires sharp, clear, and vivid, using them as a weapon to cut through fear's illusions. Desire is not soft. It is steel, and the strong wield it like a blade. Fear cannot survive in the face of a clear and focused will.